Welcome back to Universal Insight. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. I bet you didn't know Hungary would be the first EU country to join BRICS. Let's dive into how this move sent shockwaves across Europe and the world. On March 4, 2025, Hungary shocked the world by joining BRICS, a move that sent ripples through the global political landscape and caught many by surprise. By becoming the first EU member to join the BRICS alliance, Hungary broke a decades-old precedent, signaling a dramatic shift in its foreign policy and international alliances. The European Parliament was left reeling. Lawmakers and diplomats scrambled to respond as Hungary openly aligned itself with Russia, China, and other BRICS nations, directly challenging the EU's sense of unity and shared purpose. This unprecedented move shattered the illusion of unbreakable EU solidarity. Suddenly, the idea that the European Union could always present a united front was called into question, raising urgent debates about the bloc's future direction and stability. Hungary's Prime Minister, Viktor Orbán, had long been a thorn in Brussels' side, often clashing with EU leaders over issues of sovereignty and national interest. But this was his boldest, most provocative move yet, one that would define his legacy and Hungary's place in Europe. The EU now faced a profound dilemma. How could it maintain cohesion and credibility when one of its own members openly embraced its geopolitical rivals? The question loomed large in emergency meetings and late-night strategy sessions across Brussels. The event exposed deep ideological rifts within the EU, revealing not just political disagreements but fundamental differences in vision for the continent's future. Some leaders called for swift action, while others urged caution, fearing further division. Around the world, analysts debated whether Hungary's move was an isolated act of defiance or the first sign of a broader realignment within Europe. Was this the beginning of a domino effect, or simply a unique case? As news spread, world leaders and journalists watched closely. Hungary's decision sent shockwaves through the established order, forcing governments and institutions everywhere to reconsider their assumptions about European stability. This was more than just a headline. It marked a turning point in European history. The continent now stood at a crossroads, with the path ahead more uncertain than ever before. The very foundation of the EU was challenged, and its leaders knew that their response would not only shape the future of the Union, but also influence the global balance of power for years to come. Hungary's bold step was more than a diplomatic maneuver. It was a signal that the established order in Europe was facing a significant internal challenge, and the world would be watching to see what happened next. Viktor Orbán's vision for Hungary stands in stark contrast to the prevailing norms of the West, setting his country on a unique and often controversial path. Rather than aligning strictly with traditional Western alliances, Orbán advocates for a bold, independent approach that seeks to redefine Hungary's place in the world. He envisions a future shaped by a multipolar world order, where power is distributed among several influential nations, not dominated by a single bloc. In this emerging landscape, Hungary positions itself as a pragmatic player, skillfully navigating relationships with both East and West. Orbán's Eastern opening policy is central to this vision. By forging deeper economic ties with Russia and China, Hungary seeks to diversify its partnerships, attract investment, and secure energy resources, all while reducing dependence on the European Union. He argues that Hungary must remain agile and adaptable, refusing to be locked into what he sees as a declining Western alliance. Instead, Orbán believes Hungary should seize opportunities wherever they arise, even if that means challenging established loyalties. This strategy resonates with many Hungarian voters, especially those who feel that EU policies often overlook or undermine national interests. For them, Orbán's approach promises greater autonomy and a stronger voice on the global stage. Hungary's move toward BRICS membership is more than a diplomatic gesture. It's a bold declaration of sovereignty and a signal that the country is ready to chart its own course, regardless of external pressures. By openly challenging the authority of the European Union, Orbán is betting on a future where global power is more evenly balanced, and smaller nations like Hungary can assert themselves with greater confidence. Ultimately, Hungary's ambition is clear: to become a truly sovereign player in a rapidly changing multipolar world, one where its interests are protected and its voice is heard. Hungary's BRICS entry was the result of long-standing EU conflicts. Orbán opposed EU sanctions on Russia, prioritizing national interests. Hungary's sovereignty protection law further strained relations with Brussels. Economically, Hungary maintained Russian energy ties, defying EU unity. This rift paved the way for Hungary's BRICS move, highlighting mutual distrust. Budapest saw Brussels as overreaching, while Brussels viewed Hungary as undermining EU values. The BRICS announcement was a logical conclusion to a fraught relationship. Orbán's domestic agenda, the Hungarian model, emphasizes national conservatism. Pro-family policies and economic nationalism are central to this strategy. Hungary's foreign policy supports its domestic goals, maintaining Russian energy ties. The Hungarian model contrasts with EU austerity, promoting self-sufficiency. Despite ideological differences, Hungary pragmatically engages with EU mechanisms. This complex strategy reflects Orbán's commitment to sovereignty and national interests. Hungary's approach creates a dynamic, often unpredictable relationship with the EU. Hungary's decision to join BRICS is more than just a diplomatic move. It's a pivotal moment that puts the European Union's cohesion to the ultimate test. For years, the EU has prided itself on presenting a united front, but Hungary's bold step threatens to unravel that carefully maintained image. The stakes have never been higher, as leaders across the continent scramble to respond to this unprecedented challenge. The fear of a domino effect looms large, with many wondering if Hungary's move could inspire other member states to reconsider their own alliances. The possibility of a chain reaction is real, and it has sent shockwaves through the corridors of power in Brussels and beyond. Hungary's defiance fractures the EU's unified voice, making it harder for the bloc to act decisively on the world stage. As internal disagreements spill into public view, the EU's global influence risks being diminished at a critical time. To overcome this crisis, the EU must urgently address its internal divisions and remind its members of the shared benefits that unity brings. Only by reinforcing solidarity can the Union hope to weather this storm and emerge stronger. Hungary's alignment with BRICS is not just a political maneuver, it's a direct challenge to the EU's core values and the principles that have held the Union together for decades. The EU now faces a monumental task, managing this crisis without allowing the fabric of the Union to unravel. Leaders must act swiftly and decisively to prevent further fragmentation. Hungary's decision serves as a stark wake-up call, exposing the underlying fragility of EU unity and forcing leaders to confront uncomfortable truths about the state of the Union. In this moment of uncertainty, the EU must reflect on its purpose and chart a clear course for its future in a rapidly changing world, or risk losing its place as a global force. Hungary's BRICS move signals a shift in global power dynamics. Orbán bets on a multipolar world, challenging Western dominance. Hungary's decision could reshape Europe, creating a more fragmented landscape. The move lends symbolic weight to BRICS, offering an alternative to Western alliances. Hungary's gamble on history's course could lead to isolation or trailblazing. The decision has altered the geopolitical conversation, forcing Europe to confront internal divisions. Hungary's bold step highlights the changing map of the 21st century. The world must acknowledge the new global reality Hungary's move represents.